continuing our tour around Granbury. We're looking at the 5 best neighborhoods on the Fort Worth side of Granbury. We did the first 3 neighborhoods. Now we're in the 4th, which is Saratoga. It is a D.R. Horton community, and it has quite a few homes that are available. If you know anything about D.R. Horton, a lot of his properties, what you will find is you'll have very similar style homes. There's only a few different floor plans, and they're all going to share that same floor plan basically. So that 4 variations are going to be the same throughout the entire neighborhood. You may wonder why they do that. One of the things that they do is they get prices lower than their competitors by creating uniformity. And so when you go out and look at a D.R. Horton home, you will notice that the prices do tend to be a little bit more competitive, and for that reason they continue to get a lot of interest. So we're here today in Saratoga. There is one property that we're going to take a look at. It is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's 2137 heated square foot. And the HOAs for this neighborhood are $400 annually, so $400 per year. The particular property that we are looking at is right here in front of me. And it was on the market for $365. It's been on the market for a little while. It started at $395. It's down to $365 now. And you can see kind of very, very similar homes all around. That's basically what you get out here. No need really looking at multiple properties. I mean, a lot of the price points are very similar. There are a few properties that were of the floor plan that were particularly larger. None of those are available at the moment that I could see. They will come up very soon, especially this spring. So we can take a look at those. So they'll be in the 4s potentially. So, or maybe the high 3s. So you might have some that are 2,400 square foot. That's about as big as they get out here. They do, if you notice, I will show you, they do have sidewalks. So if you like to take dogs for a walk or kids to take a stroll around the neighborhood, this is a community with sidewalks. So it is a nice aspect of it. With that, we've kind of covered the Saratoga. I am gonna get a little bit of drone footage of this. We have one more neighborhood to take a look at. We have their update in Cresson, and then we're done with the Fort Worth side of Granbury videos. So we're gonna go on now to Gemstone, and then we will go from there. Thanks. We're back looking at the neighborhood Gemstone Estates. Gemstone Estates. I am driving in my truck today, and as fate would have it, my wife took my wallet with her to work in Fort Worth today. So if I get pulled over shooting this video, there's no telling what will happen. So I'm putting my life at great peril in order to make this great content for you guys. So we're pulling up. I mentioned Gemstone Estates is located behind a car dealership, and a lot of people don't realize what I mean by that. So I'm going to shoot this video actually driving into the neighborhood. So it's behind a car dealership called Schottenkirk Toyota, also where I purchased my truck. It is a local store here in Granbury, but I want to show you how you turn into this particular neighborhood. So it is interesting as you come up to this neighborhood, how you gain access into it. So we're going to turn around. Well, before we do, I have an aspiring realtor, my oldest son. He's with me today. We are going to grab some lunch at Taco Casa here in just a minute. So we're pulling up into, let's see if you can see, this is the Schottenkirk Toyota store. You have to turn down this right beside it. So we're gonna come up to this street here, which is Sardius. We're pulling into Sardius Street, and it looks like we're pulling into the Schottenkirk car dealership. But what you're gonna find is actually we're pulling through this back into the neighborhood. So this is the entry point. Not a lot of through traffic coming through this neighborhood. This is a really great neighborhood, actually. It's one of my favorites. It's on the Fort Worth side of Granbury, obviously. That's why it's in this video. And it's located behind the car dealership. Not a lot of through traffic is going to be coming in and out. It has sidewalks, it's very safe. So I'm gonna hop out, take a quick stroll around, and then we can get an idea of what this neighborhood feels like. So let's do it. All right, we're still here in Gemstone Estates, and I'm gonna show you one property that's for sale out here in the neighborhood. Let me turn this around and show you. It does have sidewalks, very family-friendly neighborhood. Lots are about a 1/4 acre typically, right at a 1/4 acre. So this property here is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and it is on the market for $315,000. 4-bed, 2-bath, right under 2,000 square foot. It is listed by me. It just hit the market not very long ago. Brand new roof on it. Fantastic property. I've had a few people reach out to me from Open Door subsidiaries that are looking for homes, properties in this particular neighborhood. Since it's so close to Fort Worth, they know that people that want to work in Fort Worth but be out of the city are going to rent properties out here. So they like to acquire properties out here, especially if they're in pretty good condition. So great neighborhood, great location, right behind Schottenkirk Toyota. This is the last but not least neighborhood on the Fort Worth side of Granbury. This neighborhood is probably closer to Fort Worth than any other neighborhood we looked at so far. It is on the very edge. As you're going out, you're going to go into Cresson very soon. So this is about as close as you can get. We're going to do a Google map view, and you're going to take you're going to be able to see a bird's eye view of this particular neighborhood from the map standpoint. And then I think it'll give you a really good idea of the main neighborhoods on this side of town. So let's go take a look at the Google map view. We're going to do that in my office, and we're going to evaluate a few things from there, and then we'll wrap her up. All right, thanks. All right, so we're back in the office. We're going to do a couple of looks at these neighborhoods here from a Google map view, and we're going to take a look at a couple of clips of drone footage, and that'll kind of pan out our last part of this Fort Worth side of Granbury. So I'm going to share my screen to start with you, and we are going to look at Saratoga Estates. So we drove out, we took a look at some properties that are out there in the neighborhood. Now we have some drone footage, and we can get a bird's eye view of the neighborhood. So first thing you want to note that's interesting is you have this big area back here, which is the next phase of Saratoga. So they're in the process of getting all of that put in. So good news on that front. There's more housing coming available, and they're going to be pretty similar in style from what I've understood and what D.R. Horton is planning to do. If we continue to let this play out, you can see that the neighborhood is not that large. This is pretty much the sum and substance of the neighborhood. I mean, we're pretty close to the boundaries in this drone video. So this is going to be the other corner of the neighborhood. That's pretty much it right now. They are putting in more as we see there in the back, and the neighborhood size will likely just about double, but you get a pretty good idea. Now Saratoga, if I take this video, we can back it up to the beginning. I want to show you. So this is 377. This is 377 here. This is the main highway. You're right off of 377 in this neighborhood. I mean, you're just a 1/4 mile back off the road. You're on the Fort Worth side of Granbury, obviously. Let me pull up a map view of what we're looking at. So again, way over here on the Fort Worth side of Granbury. Saratoga is located here. If we were to continue to zoom in, HEB would be right here. So even closer than HEB location. So this gives you a pretty good bird's eye view of Saratoga. You've seen the neighborhood. You've seen a couple of homes that we snapshot out there. Saw the drone footage. Now that we finished up with Saratoga, let's go take a look at Gemstone Estates. First of all, we're just going to shoot a quick map view of Gemstone. Not really much to do with the drone footage. We have the driving in footage as we drove in to kind of give you an idea. With this map view, it should really round out things for us. So Gemstone is obviously here behind Schottenkirk Toyota. We drove through this parking lot to get there. HEB is, again, it's down here. Even if you were to look at, you know, where this is in relation to Granbury, I mean, it's on the far side. You bypass all the traffic on 377 essentially if you're trying to make a trip to Fort Worth. So you're as close as you can be in Granbury to the border to be quick access to Fort Worth. So this is Gemstone Estates as it relates to Granbury. All right, so as promised in the very first video when we were putting together the Fort Worth side, I mentioned an important update for Cresson. So we're gonna jump in to an update on Cresson now. So Cresson has, I mentioned, an overpass that was being built. Now this was approved several years ago and they've been building on it. So this particular video is of the work and that they're doing on the construction site for this overpass. Let me back this up just a little bit. So this road here, this is 377 here. This is the main road that everyone uses. All right, this here is where the overpass is going to be from the Granbury side. Their overpass is people are going to take this on-ramp and they're going to drive onto this overpass, and it's going to be about 3 miles long from what I understand. This overpass is going to go over the Cresson Bridge, and it's going to allow even quicker access to Fort Worth in case there is a train that is docking or stopping there at the train station. So this train, this overpass has been in the works for a while. It was supposed to be done earlier. There was another delay that was just announced. So the complete overpass and all the infrastructure that are involved are now being projected to being complete at the end of 2025. So end of 2025, late 2025 is what they said. It's supposed to be completely finished. There is a side note. The access from Granbury to Fort Worth, they're saying is going to be done by summer of 2024. That it's the Fort Worth to Granbury access that's not going to be complete until 2025, the end of 2025. So huge update here. This year, we're actually hopefully going to have access to Fort Worth that will be unencumbered by the train that will be docking there in the Cresson area. So this is the overpass. I'm going to let this continue to roll so you can see how the overpass travels pretty wide. This is going to be where it is crossing the train station. So it's crossing there. All right, I want to show you a picture of the train station. You'll get an idea of why this overpass is being built when you see it. Let's take a look at this. So we're coming up on, this is the train station. So this is where the traffic gets blocked right here. If you look here, there's multiple places for the train to dock. So if you look at this train station, it's not just a place where the train crosses. It's where the train stops and unloads cargo at some level. So the delays can be a little bit more significant. So you can notice or know or understand why there's such great relief for the people that are traveling from Granbury to Fort Worth to Granbury, to know that this overpass is going to be complete soon, that there's not going to be this blockade that happens when the train catches you at the right time. So great news. The Granbury to Fort Worth is going to be finished this year supposedly, and the rest of it's going to be finished at the end of 2025. So with that, that's the big Cresson update. Obviously, if you're not going to be traveling to Fort Worth, it's not going to affect you as much. If you are, it's big news. My wife, like I mentioned, she teaches in Fort Worth right now, and she will catch it from time to time. And when she does, it's brutal. You know, it's extra time that she is away from home and already tired, ready to be home and take a break, or on her way to teach. And so good news is it is in progress. It will be finished soon, and there will be opening up some easier commutes from here to there and there to here. And with that, I hope that you enjoyed these two videos, best neighborhoods on the Fort Worth side of Granbury. As always, we got people that are reaching out to us every day that are thinking about relocating here, and they're interested in finding out all sorts of things. Whether that be next week, next month, or next year, regardless of how far out you are, feel free to reach out. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email.
I would love the chance to connect with you, give you some advice, and go over anything that I might know that might help make your move a little smoother here to the Granbury area. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you stay tuned for the next video. And if you have any questions or need anything, feel free to reach out anytime. All right, thanks.